G'day One Watt Fly Squad, welcome back to another Thursday trip report. My name is Jaden, I'm at Shanghai Pudong Domestic Terminal. Today I'm going to fly China Eastern 787 from here to Melbourne, Australia. So I'm at the domestic because I just flew in China Eastern as well from Shenzhen. So I'm going to find my way to the international terminal now. Come with me and we'll look for the train. Shanghai Pudong Airport is rather massive. Like in America, Australia and Canada, departures and arrivals are on the same floor in the domestic side. So if you're connecting between two domestic flights, it's really easy at Shanghai Pudong. Our flight to Australia, however, is an international flight departing from gate G120, so we'll have to go through immigration and security. So the transit process supposedly should be easy. The gate we just disembarked and the gate to Australia are within the same building, but the international transit facility is not open in the satellite building. The airport staff advised us to take the train to the main building to go through immigration and security there and then take the train back to where we started in the satellite building. So the whole process, the two trains, security and immigration, took about 40 minutes, and now we're heading back to the satellite building. So if you're connecting in Shanghai Pudong anytime soon, my advice is that you allow more time with your connection. And if you're connecting between international and domestic flights, make sure that you fill in the online COVID-19 declaration form and obtain a QR code before you go. You'll need to fill in the same form whether you're leaving or departing China. So we're back within the same building, but this time we're in the international side. So I've got Delta Gold status, which is SkyTeam Elite Plus, and before any SkyTeam flight, I can have access to a SkyTeam lounge. China Eastern, of course, have their own lounges in their main hub. In the satellite building international side, you'll find this lounge called the 137. Before I went on this trip, I did some research online and I couldn't find anything about this lounge. My theory is that they refurbished this during COVID. Judging on the layout, this would be the former Lounge 36. From late October 2023, Qantas will once again fly to Shanghai. And under the code share and partnership they've got between China Eastern, Qantas Club members, Qantas Gold and Platinum, as well as Qantas Business Class customers can access this lounge before their flight to Sydney. This lounge is gorgeous, let me show you through. The moment you enter, you'll find this self-serve beverage bar. I don't see any sparkling or champagne, but you've got spirits, white wine, red wine, juices, coffee tea, and San Pellegrino water. Near the entrance, you'll find a noodle bar, which is quite common within Chinese lounges. They use chicken broth here, but because nowadays I eat plant-based, the staff was more than happy to cook my noodles with hot water and served me with a dry noodle. Afterwards, I was able to add some condiments like sesame oil, soy sauce, peanuts, and mock chicken meat. Mock meat has always been a thing in China thanks to Buddhism. They taste a bit different to the Western plant-based meat, and I think they're actually healthier. The noodle is absolutely delicious. So that's not it for food, you've also got fruits and salad. In the hot buffet section, you've got fried rice, several types of pasta, fried noodles, pizza, and also dim sum. I ate quite a substantial amount of food, so I decided to have a walk, burn off the calories, and I can also show you the lounge a bit more. Compared to the rest of the world, China reopened the borders really late in March 2023, so it's going to take a while for tourists and travelers to come back. There are just about 10 people in this lounge. I really like the furniture and decor here. They've got this fancy cocktail and cake bar, but I guess it's too quiet in the lounge, they decided to not open the bar. Instead, they've placed some soft drinks, wine, spirits and snacks on the bar table. So what I like about the furniture is that they're all so comfortable, including the chair in the dining area. All the chairs are soft and got a cushion to it. Unlike most restaurants and airport lounges, dining chairs are usually uncomfortable and hard. I also appreciate how the lounge is built right next to the tarmac, so you've got great tarmac view and great amount of natural lights. They've even got a terrace, but unfortunately the door is locked. There are several shower rooms in the lounge, and they're rather massive. I have a feeling that this might have been a bedroom before it was refurbished. So for amenities, they've got toothbrush, toothpaste, paper cups, cotton bud, cotton pads, and also comb. And then here you've got a rack, you'll find a towel on the top. Down here you've got slippers, it's reusable, and I think you're not supposed to take it home. They wash it and sanitize it between guests. And this is why I think this could have been a bedroom. They've even got a wardrobe. Like, you know, it could have been a transit hotel bedroom, whatever. And if they've added a door here, literally it could be a bedroom and a separate bathroom. So here you've got the Japanese style toilet with magical buttons. Here you've got the shower space. For shower products, they use Lux and VS Sassoon. You've got a regular shower head and also rain shower. So I just changed to new socks and jocks. Now I'm ready for my flight to Melbourne. From the lounge 137 to gate number G120, it's about a 3-minute walk. And the terminal is eerily quiet still. So here's our aircraft today. It's a 4-year-old Shanghai Airlines Boeing 787-9 Bravo 208 X-ray. Technically it's still a China Eastern flight. For their flight to Melbourne MU737, it's always operated by Shanghai Airlines, which is China Eastern's subsidiary. It looks like they are wet leasing their own airline to fly to Melbourne. So flight number is still China Eastern. It also code shares with Qantas but not even Shanghai Airlines. And they use Shanghai Airlines cabin crew and pilots on this flight. You don't see those every day now, but before you board a China Eastern or Shanghai Airlines flight, you can grab free newspapers. Welcome on board Shanghai Airlines 787. In business class, you've got 30 seats. In premium economy, you've got 28. In economy, you've got 227 seats. The 787 cabins between Shanghai Airlines and China Eastern are identical. Economy class configuration is in a standard 333 layout. My seat today is 65A. Here's the view. I'll now go through the seat features with you guys. Every seat got a coat hook, a rather large touchscreen TV with a USB port and headphone jack, a TV remote. You've got a tray table, you can fold it in half and move it back and forth. Here's a seat pocket and it's got magazines and stuff. There's an extra pouch for your personal items. The trash in the seat pocket is mine. It's a used antiseptic wipe because the window was oily and dirty. Legroom is pretty good, about 33 inches. Beneath your seat you'll find a USB port again and a universal power socket to share with your neighbour. Every seat has an adjustable headrest. The flaps of the headrest are a bit tiny though, not too great for sleeping. A pillow is ready for you for this long haul flight. There's no blanket though. I wonder if they're gonna give it out later. In-flight announcements and safety videos are in Mandarin and English. I like how they've got sign language as well for Mandarin. A very nice touch indeed.
Welcome aboard China Eastern Airlines. For your safety, please watch the following safety demonstration carefully.
Welcome to Shanghai Airlines. Our flight time is 9 hours and 30 minutes. Now we're ready for departure. Please fasten your seatbelt over the Lavatory. Ejector table braking upright and plug headphones and electric devices. Please switch to airplane mode when using your portable electronic devices. Small devices can be used during the intra-flight. Large device can only be used during cruising. Smoking on board is forbidden, including cigarettes and similar products. Please keep your seatbelt fastened in case of sudden turbulence. Thank you.
We're now airborne and I'll quickly show you the in-flight entertainment. China Eastern isn't quite exactly known for its IFE, but you've got a good selection, I suppose, of TV shows and movies to choose from. If you're taking China Eastern a few times a month, it might be a bit boring. Flight map is interactive and you can zoom in and zoom out to wherever you want. Flight time from Shanghai to Melbourne is about 9 hours and 45 minutes. We're currently flying southwest towards Hong Kong, and then after Hong Kong we're gonna turn southeast towards Melbourne. I could be wrong, but I think it's because Chinese airlines aren't allowed to overfly Taiwan's airspace. So a lot of flights between Australia and China fly right over Hong Kong or the Japanese airspace. From Shanghai to Melbourne, they do both, and today it's over Hong Kong. In-flight service started soon after takeoff. It started with a blanket for everybody and a COVID kit with face mask and wet towel. And now here comes the dinner. Like my flight from Shenzhen to Shanghai, I forgot to order a vegan meal, so everything I got here is regular, except for the main course. They've got a spare vegetarian meal. So starter, you've got a few slices of ham and a cherry tomato, a very small carton of grapefruit juice, bread and butter. For main course, it's a stir-fry vegetable with rice. It's a very simple, boring, yet delicious meal, like a home-cooked meal. And by the way, for standard meals, your options today are pork noodles and tomato beef rice. The crew later came back again for coffee and tea. I went for a Chinese chrysanthemum tea. It's very delicious and I like how they give you a lid as well. They got tea leaves attached to the bottom of the cup so you can ask for refill. Hello there, welcome on board China Eastern / Shanghai Airlines 7879 Economy Class Lavatory. So here we've got some rubbish / vomit bag, a big mirror on the other side, the toilet, and when you sit down you've got plenty of space. And up here we've got a twin cot hook. After the meal service, we've started heading southwest towards Melbourne, Australia. Now we've got 7.5 hours to go. I've reclined my seat, it's quite comfortable, and I've got my own eye mask and I'm going to sleep now. I'm super fortunate to have brought my own eye mask because they didn't switch off the lights throughout the flight. They've only dimmed it a little bit, but then they've also locked and put all the windows in the darkest mode. About 5 hours later, they switched on the mood lighting again and they started serving breakfast. It's now 3:30 China time, 5:30 in Melbourne. Like the dinner service, they've got starters and sides in the box and a main dish by its own. I don't know why they have to do it in a box, maybe it's cheaper than a tray. Regardless, presentation definitely not as good. So this time we got a plain yogurt, vanilla slice. For main course you can choose between seafood or egg fried rice, so pescatarian or vegetarian. Lastly, there's also honey and a croissant. This is the egg fried rice, it's really good, but I'm not sure about having fried rice for breakfast. The vanilla slice again very good, but I'd rather have this for dinner really. But then it doesn't really matter because it's not like I don't drink champagne in the morning. Now the cabin crew come back again to collect meal trays and offer us more drinks. You can choose coffee, tea, juices and water.
Just a moment.
I think because my Mandarin sucks, when I asked for a cup of tea in Mandarin, she spoke English back to me. Here's another cup of delicious chrysanthemum tea with a cup lid. We're now flying over the Northern Territory, and we've got about an hour and 40 minutes left to our flight. The windows are really locked. It's locked until the cabin crew started preparing for landing.
Aircraft will be landing at Melbourne Airport at 6:25 a.m. Beijing time, 8:25 a.m. local time. The ground temperature is 10 degrees centigrade or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. We will start to descend soon. Please identify the emergency exits from their seatbelt. Open the window shade. The carry on tray table. Bring your seat back upright and unplug your headphones and electronic devices. Please make sure the large portable electronic devices are stowed properly. The lavatory will be closing in 20 minutes. Thank you.
We've now started our descent into Melbourne Tullamarine, and I'll quickly conclude this trip report with Shanghai Airlines and China Eastern right here, right now. Our journey today started at the China Eastern 137 lounge. I really like that lounge. It's massive, new, it's got plenty of natural lights, and the food selection is amazing. It's definitely one of the best SkyTeam lounges I've been to. Once on board the flight MU737, I noticed the legroom was really generous. The legroom was pretty good as well, but it's also got some drawbacks. There's no double seat back padding, and the headrests weren't that great. Still a solid seat. I really liked the cabin crew on this flight. They were really generous and helpful. They tried their best to find me the vegan meal, and I got a vegan meal for dinner. For breakfast, they were offering vegetarian anyway. The food portion and taste were both great across dinner and breakfast, but the presentation was average. There was no meal tray, but rather a paper box. It's a bit like Qantas, but even cheaper. It could possibly be a Shanghai Airlines thing. On my China Eastern flight from Shenzhen to Shanghai, which is just a domestic flight, I got a meal tray, so I don't see why they couldn't do it on this international flight. One of the highlights for me though would have to be the chrysanthemum tea. I look forward to drinking that again when I next fly with China Eastern and Shanghai Airlines. Now for your information, today I paid 450 Australian dollars for this one-way journey from Shenzhen to Melbourne via Shanghai. It's rather cheap when you consider that this is just a one-way journey on a full-service carrier. From Hong Kong, you're looking to pay about 3 times the price on full service, or about the same price if you don't mind Scoot or AirAsia. But for myself, I'd rather go the long way to enjoy my lounge access and free meals. So that's it for the conclusion today. Thank you so much for watching. For those new to my channel, I upload a trip report like this one every single week on Thursday. Sometimes when I've got a huge backlog, I do Monday as well. So be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button so you won't miss out again. You can also follow me on my social media platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, BeReal, Threads and TikTok. And finally, for those who want to make direct impacts into funding my flights, you can do so via PayPal or Patreon. My Patreon members, YouTube members and PayPal Me supporters can also enjoy early access to my trip reports and exclusive vlogs. Once again, thanks for watching and your continuous support. Now please enjoy the landing into Tullamarine, and after disembarking I'll do a short Q&A. See you later, bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne International Airport. Please keep your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. Before leaving the aircraft, please remember to take all belongings with you. Thank you for flying with China Eastern Airlines. See you next time. In accordance with the requirements of Australia government, all arriving aircraft should be sprayed with an insect spray. Shortly, the cabin crew will be spraying the cabin and the lavatories.
Hello there, welcome back to another Q&A. So today I'm going to do a Q&A because I didn't do a vlog in Melbourne, it was just a transit. So yeah, Q&A it is. By the way, here's Lily. I'll quickly show you Lily. She's having dinner. Right, so let's jump straight into it. Q&A. Ian is asking, are you surprised about Bonds' announcement today? A little bit. So the announcement was about Bonds Airlines, the low-cost carrier in Australia, cutting flights and cancelling routes. So I took 2 flights for them earlier this year from Melbourne to Mackay, Mackay to Sunshine Coast. Both flights were quite full. The second flight was like completely full, so a little bit surprised that they're not doing well. But I suppose the routes that they have competition are the ones that aren't doing well. For example, Mackay to Cairns, because QantasLink operate that route as well. So hopefully they keep the routes that they're doing well, have a monopoly and keep prices low still. That's going to be good for the communities in rural Australia. What's your favourite transit airport and why? Don't include lounge access. Okay, so if I don't include lounge access, to be honest, I haven't done much transit because if I don't get lounge access, usually I do non-stop flight. So I can't give you the best opinion because I haven't really experienced it. Like last time I think I transited without lounge access was in Abu Dhabi and I didn't like it. The airport was old, low ceiling, but even with lounge access, it's not my favourite airport in Abu Dhabi. Maybe Singapore, Hong Kong, Tokyo, both Narita and Haneda because of plane spotting. So if you include the ability of going out and have fun within the airport area, like the Jewel in Singapore, then yeah, I would include Singapore as well. Also at Haneda Airport, they've got onsen at the international terminal. That's pretty cool. What's the best old jet you've flown on? Definitely 747, 400 several times. I've flown 757 on American Airlines as well back in 2019. I did a video on that. What else? Oriental Thai, the Bangkok-based airline that went bankrupt a few years ago. 747-200 XJL, I believe. That was pretty cool. I can't tell you the best one though, because I was a bit young when I tried those aircraft. I don't think it's up to me to say. What's the most outrageous thing you've seen in an airport? A few things, good and bad. Absolutely hate people when they cut queues. I've experienced that a few times in JFK or, you know, those people mover trains. People don't line up, just jump straight on board and take the very limited seats that they've got on board. There was one time at Hong Kong airport near a boarding gate, there were a group of mums, like old mums, dancing at a boarding gate, and that was pretty cool. Like they were dancing to music. Mike is asking the #1 party city for me. Prague definitely was fun, although I was sick when I was there. I would go back though. Pub crawl is so cheap there and you meet people from all around the world. Hong Kong is good if you know people. Adelaide as well, actually. Adelaide and Brisbane for Australia. I don't quite like the nightlife in Melbourne. I've not done it in Sydney because apparently it doesn't exist. Perth is okay, but I think Adelaide and Brisbane are better. If you could have your favourite meal on a plane, what would it be? And which airline can make it best? So if you watched last week's China Airlines trip report, Taipei to Hong Kong, I had Michelin Green Star meal in economy and that was fabulous, one of the best meals ever. But to be honest, I don't really have any favourite food, not even cuisine, but in general I prefer salty food. So yeah, I'm not that picky. Anything that's delicious, I'll have it. As long as they can master it, it's the best, I reckon. What's my favorite restaurant in Hong Kong? Again, don't really have a favorite. Any Cha Chan Teng is good. So Cha Chan Teng is Hong Kong style Western cafe. I love French toast. It's usually vegetarian, not vegan, but there are some places that do it vegan in Hong Kong. And also, of course, a very nice cup of iced lemon tea. Can't beat that. Am I visiting Taiwan or New York soon? Unfortunately not. Not Taiwan for sure. But hopefully early next year when I go to Hong Kong, I'll do some quick day or 2 day trip to Taiwan, Bangkok, somewhere nearby to try out new airlines and new places as well that I've not been to. Like Taipei, I've been there, but it was only 3 days back in 2019. And I live like an hour away and I've only been there once. It's a bit outrageous, I think. New York City, I really like New York City and I'm thinking of going back in November. So that's it for the Q&A. Thank you so much for watching and your continuous support and following and subscribing. Where's Lily? I want to say goodbye with Lily. I can't find her. Might have to end it here, but have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching, especially to my patrons and PayPal Me members. Your support means a lot to me. Thanks again and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne International Airport. Please keep your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. Before leaving the aircraft, please remember to take all belongings with you. Thank you for flying.